Hello, 2026. Hello, everybody out there. I wanted to do some readings from the WeMoon. Let me show you the book. This is a great book. It was gifted to me last year, and here's the new one, 2026. And the first part of the reading is the astrological overview for 2026. And then we're going to jump right into Aquarius because Capricorn has already passed us through from the 19th to the 20th just a day ago. Astrological overview for 2026. Come full circle and reinvest in your grooves, your circles, your affinity groups, collectives, while still exploring your own unique spark. Don't give in to faulty belief that we have to choose between individuality and connection between our uniqueness, an essential collaboration between activism and safety. The planets call us to embrace and develop dichotomies in this contradictory wild year. Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter all change sign from inward yin, water and earth signs, to yang, action-oriented, fire and air signs. It's creating a shift on the world stage. This time filled with both great potential and possible conflagration intensifies as those planets aspect one another and tag Pluto, which is already in the early degrees of Aquarius. This year brings power struggles in plenty, creative, innovative, and redirection with so many major aspects we can't parse them apart, but have to see it like tumblers in a lock opening up a portal. It's up to us to direct the flow. Our circles can be our saving grace, a soul home base for activism, but we also need a place to define our own paradigm. We'll need a moment alone with our muse, but isolation or insulation will not work. Let's break down the components of this wild year. Pluto in Aquarius until 2043 can shake up the world's power center, decentralize it, or shift it to the small countries or groups, not the specialists, for better or worse. It could bring mob rule, a colluding central committee, or true power to the people. Pay attention and be prepared to thoughtfully roll with the changes. Act, don't react. Neptune starts 2026 back into Pisces, but on January 26th, it enters brash, fiery, individualistic Aries until 2038. The last time Neptune entered Aries was in 1861 as the American Civil War began and right before the biggest volcanic explosion in Africa's history. Neptune in Aries calls for the philosophy of the individual. Pluto calls for the transformation through the collective. Balancing these two is the key to the next few years. On February 3rd, Uranus retrograde at the turn of the year turns directly into the change it begins to manifest. What's been stable could wobble. Wobbly things begin to stabilize. Saturn joins Neptune on Aries on February 13th and conjuncts Neptune on February 20th, beginning a new cycle, potentially idealizing a philosophy of action, independence, activism, militarism, and rebellion. It can also give us a tinge of feeling we're weak for being sensitive or compassionate. It can dissolve boundaries, make us defend them fiercely, or inspire us to be valiant rescuers of the truly vulnerable. It can be a crisis of faith, but underneath, also pare us down to our bedrock philosophy, which stands the test of time. It can also underline the intensifying wild weather patterns and fires of climate change, which could finally motivate real change about how we manage our environment. Innovative Uranus enters Gemini on April 25th and can revolutionize how we move around, how we communicate, either through technology or by finding subversive ways of getting the word out. We can help create new ways to hear what's really going on, unfiltered by mainstream media, but we will need to watch out for crazy, unvetted theories working the back channels. Check all facts. Always. Jupiter enters Leo June 29th and amps up our staging, bringing panache and activism to the art world and encouraging interesting street theater. All these planets resonate off one another through a wild summer, with Pluto at 4 degrees Aquarius, Neptune 4 degrees Aries, Uranus at 4 degrees Gemini, and Jupiter at 4 degrees of Leo, instigating a powerful but potentially messy evolutionary cycle. These planets form dynamic and energizing sextiles or trines to one another, but with all Jupiter opposed Pluto. With all but Jupiter opposed Pluto. While components of this pattern fluctuate on and off thanks to retrograde cycles, it stays activated the rest of the year. Positive aspects like trines and sextiles open doorways and create possibilities, but we have to act to activate them, whereas that challenging Jupiter-Pluto opposition can kick us out the door and into the streets. Jupiter enters Leo June 29th and opposes Pluto to the degree July 19th through the 23rd, but we will be feeling reverberations of this transit throughout the summer. Here we can intensify our ambitions or liberate us from disempowerment. Watch for how power in all its forms, electrical, interpersonal, political, can become either abused or dynamically utilized. Foster power within and be very wary of power over. Jupiter sextiles Uranus July 2nd and can inspire innovation, technical breakthroughs, and general wild time at music festivals. Look for cultural inventions. Uranus trines Pluto July 17th, and the influences of this trine will color our world through May 2028. The last time these two danced in trine was the beginning of the Jazz Age in 1920 and 21. It brought economic boom and women's suffrage to America, and as a result of the protest, epidemics, and political activism. This trine brings a chance to be revived after grave difficulties. Uranus sextiles Neptune August 15th through the summer of 2027. The last time, the mid-60s, where it encouraged political, sociological, and cultural changes. Saturn sextiles Pluto, as did in 2010 and 2012, offering strength to the power base, but it may also encourage educational stability. Neptune sextiles Pluto July 24th through 2028, as it did in the mid-50s, in 1976 through 79, and 1980 through 86. This is a slow, thoughtful background transit that paints a picture of optimism with the potential for magical thinking, inspirational within our spiritual search, but also potential power play around religion. 2026 brings us full circle back to an amazing lineup of possibly culture-changing, exciting, enlivening, inspiring aspects, but also some dangerous ones. They will test us and ask us to redefine power, to operate from compassion and true connection, to step out of privilege and work toward freedom for all. These aspects reinstall artists back to the forefront as subversive revolutionaries. They insist we back away from militancy, even if others ride into battle, and push us to find creative ways to save our world. Thanks, Heather Roan Robbins and with Mother Tongue Inc. in 2025 for writing this up. And we're going to go into astrological year at a glance. Starting out February, Aquarius, since we are in Aquarius at this moment. It started out on the 20th. The 19th and the 20th of January is the switch over from Capricorn to Aquarius. So I'll see you on the flip side for Aquarius.